Hi, my name's Dave Treat. I'm just incredibly proud and thankful to be joining this session, and I want to start by just thanking Tamika for just such a warm welcome this morning. I'm incredibly proud and honored to be serving as board chair for the next year. Sandra and the GBBC team, and certainly my fellow board members and our wider community are just some of my favorite people and just so impressive. And so to be able to serve and work with you in a different capacity over the next year is just an incredible honor, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think we've got, as evidenced by all the phenomenal sessions today, just such a powerful lineup of capability and focus and resources, and just couldn't be in a better position amidst, of course, what are incredibly challenging times. So, with that, thanks. I wanted to start and share an experience I had recently after really what was 6 months of incredibly conservative sheltering in place amidst our context. My wife is a doctor, and just 3 kids at home. We did venture out and created a little bit of a bubble with our extended family and took a beach vacation. We did figure out that we actually have relatively COVID-friendly behaviors anyway on a beach vacation. We would go early, separate, et cetera, in the wide open beach. But one of the things that's a feature of getting together with my family is it's a huge test of a number of different things, not the least of which is my, the consulting speak that can sneak into our language, or my language at least, and the simplicity and focus of what we do is always a point of challenge with my kids and my family. And I have to say, this summer, I think our collective work gave me the best experience yet at explaining what it is that we do. I sitting around one evening around a fire, and talking. My brother turned to me and said, "Look, he's a dermatologist. He can explain exactly how his day works." And he said, "Tell me, let's try one more time. Tell me what you do." And this is after 20 years worth of this dialogue. And before I could speak up, my middle son piped in and said, "Oh, Dad's creating a new form of money." And everyone starts laughing, and I just beamed with pride as he actually represented, a significant portion of what just is obviously a massive innovation frontier for all of us, and that simplicity of being able to say and kind of take a giant step back and say and have in layperson's terms described what is so incredibly transformative of introducing a new form of money built for the digital world, digitally native, and has the potential to address not just some of the inefficiencies and legacy technology debt and orthodoxies that we've held for so long about how financial services works, but also that the ability for it to be part of a solution, along with digital identity and others, of really helping to think through and address financial inclusion, and to think through those barriers to the on-ramps to financial services. And we engaged in a great conversation. I held back on some of the stats from an evening's conversation, but the stats are just staggering, right? The fact that we still have about just under 2 billion. So I think it's I think the World Bank figure is 1.7 billion who are unbanked entirely. Is just creates such a massive opportunity, not only to address the inequities, but it's a business opportunity. And if we can bring people into financial services and do it in a profitable way and create that flywheel of investment, it just presents such a phenomenal opportunity. And we have the constellation of technical capabilities and operational capabilities. It's all here for us. And I think over the next 10 minutes, I'll keep going back to this theme that if we look around the invite list to this event, and if we look at the membership of the GBBC, and if I think about our partners and our clients and our competitors' partners and clients, and this community that's all focused, our ability, when focused, to deliver at pace and to bring this innovation frontier in faster is just phenomenal. And it's in our grasp, and we're seeing, we've certainly seen evidence of it over the past 6 months as we rapidly shifted to cloud and remote work context. And so I'm incredibly encouraged by that. We ended up that evening having a great conversation, dispelling some myths. I actually got into account-based versus token-based conversation with with my English teacher of cousins and social workers, and that was a great experience to again simplify it. So we spent a bunch of time on that. Then we ended up pivoting. That obviously led to identity and the whole notion of digital identity, and some work that they've known that that we've been focused on for quite some time, around being able to not only bring digital identity to the world's populations who don't have access to any, but also just to entirely rethink the nature of what identity means for all of us in our day-to-day lives in a developed context, and how the loss of privacy, the impact of loss of trust, the inability to track where our data goes. I again was incredibly encouraged to be able to describe that we have open source platforms that are providing, that are providing platform solutions against open source standards in a solution pattern that really is providing us with that mechanism to move forward. Right? We have the technology in place to be able to use self-managed identity constructs to give people control, certainly more control over their own information, to be able to reintroduce the concept of privacy, and again, the ability for this to help draw people into our financial world, while at the same time really, fundamentally fixing where we have certainly digitized the analog process over the past couple of decades. And as we look forward to the digital world that we envision, it's all there for us, and I just again incredibly encouraged by that. I think on the past panel, I think Eva's made similar comments, and they just resonated as being spot on. And lastly, the third topic that came up through the course of the evening, again off of work that they had seen us doing in the public domain around circular supply chain and the whole notion of sustainable supply chains. I couldn't, I'm stating the obvious, but the world facing what is potentially, has to be, not potentially, what necessarily will be the largest supply chain event that will have ever happened in a condensed time period in the next 18 months, to be able to deliver what seems to need to be 2 doses of vaccine to 7.8 billion people. And to be able, all of the tracking and logistics and capabilities that go around that, the policy and the risk choices, the authenticity challenges, et cetera. Again, I think our ability to step up and respond to what is just clear opportunities to apply our solution sets in valuable ways, to be able to have that certainty of that drugs are authentic, to have that transparency and auditability and control. All of this, is ours for the grabbing, and our success is going to be predicated on working together. Right? This is not a point to differentiate or compete. This is a point to collectively win through that collaboration. And again, just incredibly honored and encouraged by the slate of speakers that have joined us today, and the focus of the work that's underway, and that ability for all of us to convene and pull together. Having a challenge like those that we are facing is going to accelerate the innovation frontier. Is really going to separate those that are ready to lean in and enable others, in all the right ways. I think it's going to separate the behaviors that we all want to see and achieve. So I'm choosing to carry forward with just the incredible optimism of having the technology capability against that challenge. I'm super encouraged because I know I'm not alone in hearing all the speakers and all of my dialogue with all of you. I know that we all feel the same way. And so one of the focal points for the GBBC over the coming year that I certainly want to work with each of you and with the board and all of our partners is how to best do that convene and act and deliver motion all together. I think we've got every platform to do it, and every bit of excitement and encouragement to make it happen. So with that, I thought I would leave just a quick minute if there were any reactions or questions. There was one that came in: the role of the U.S. Federal Reserve and large commercial banks in the digital dollar project. Love that you asked the question. I think in a similar vein, in this journey globally with central banks looking to take advantage of what central bank digital currency can do for their financial ecosystems. By definition of central bank digital currency is one that is issued by the central bank, and so the role of the Federal Reserve is key and clear. I think a great topic for a side conversation in the breakout sessions is our view that there's a phenomenal combination of the notion of a CBDC with a stablecoin, where a CBDC is kept simple and clean and clear, and limited in the application of that, embedding business logic into the token to be the financial crime, necessary financial crime, legal and regulatory constructs. And then pegging, being able to have a stablecoin pegged to that, where the stablecoin provides the wider innovation frontier to apply all the creativity around all of the wider business logic that could be used to drive social and policy good. I think is a phenomenal combination, and obviously, the ability to maintain our two-tier banking system as the mechanism for that distribution and that engagement, but then challenging it to say, how do we be inclusive of other partners? I think is all key to the mix. So, thank you, Peter, for asking the question. With that, I know I have limited time, but again, just back to the overarching message. We will succeed through focus this year, and we'll succeed through convening and acting and delivering together. And I can't think of a better organization to be able to help to coalesce and drive that forward. And I'm incredibly proud to be working with all of you to do so. So thanks very much, and I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the day. And I will, as always, regret that I can't spend even more time. I'd love to just immerse myself in this, every minute. But enjoy the rest of the day. Thanks so much. Please reach out to me. I'm very eager to be and facilitate all the dot connecting that we can accomplish together. Thanks very much.
Thanks so much, Dave.